So let's do some yoga. Let's do a session which is quite a lot of standing and moving. So not staying static so long. So let's get to our mats. And first of all, just grounding, being ready. Relax the hands, the arms. The feet are hip width apart. You can actually bend the knees a little. Just check the body's feeling limber and relaxed. Okay, breathing in, standing up, and place the hands above the head, palms together, breathe out and come down. Lovely, and then let's do that again. So breathing in, opening, and breathing out, coming down. Open the palms upwards at the heart level and join the palms together, sending the hands out. Breathe in, open the heart area and send energy out from the palms. Then breathing in, coming up and breathing out to the heart. Okay, and then I'd like you to step to the left of your mat. And I'd like you to do the Lord Shiva pose, which is this left foot is bent, this one, and the toes are going slightly out. 12 o'clock's in front of me, toes are going out to 10 o'clock, 10:30ish. And then the other foot comes up and balances bent knee on the right side, with the heel about level to the other knee. And the knee that's up, that hand goes up. So it's the right hand goes up. The left hand comes down to about the belly button area, and the palm is directed towards your right foot. So let's try that again, just to check. If you like, I'll do it sideways on as well. So put the weight through the left foot, right foot comes up, bent knee. The knee that's up, that hand goes up above the head, palm facing the direction of the face. And the left hand comes and points the palm towards that foot. So that's the goddess pose, the Lord Shiva pose. And we're going to move from that, just watch me a moment. We're going to widen out into the goddess pose, okay? Which is the knees going out of the feet, which are 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, then when you bend the knees go out over the second toe. So you're not compromising the knee joint. Going down as much as you can without compromising the knee, groin or adductors. And then the hands, technically the upper arms are parallel to the floor and the hands are facing slightly inwards. Okay, so that's the goddess pose. And then you can swing from that to the other side to do Lord Shiva pose. So let's start again. Start with the left foot, Lord Shiva pose. Okay, open up, out, down, goddess pose. Swing onto your left knee. Okay, and we're heading over to the right. Over we go. Lift the right foot, bend both knees. Take the knee, the hand of the raised knee used to be the left, the right hand to the foot. So eventually you'll get the hang of that swing. So lift the left foot, step out, bend the knees into goddess pose, swing over your right, because we're heading left. I'm going to use this right foot to push off into Lord Shiva pose. On the other side, up, over, up, Lord Shiva pose, up, goddess pose, over, Lord Shiva pose. So if that's feeling just a bit too much, you could stop the video and start it again at the beginning so that you get the hang of this. One way to make it easier is go into star pose, then goddess pose, then swing over. Okay. Until eventually it feels quite fluid. We're going from Lord Shiva to star to goddess pose, Lord Shiva on the other side, to star, to goddess pose, to Lord Shiva on the other side, to star, to Lord, goddess pose, Lord Shiva on the other side, star, goddess pose, Lord Shiva on the other side, star, goddess pose. Kind of helps to remember that when you step quite wide, going down, protect the knees, and you're always ending up with the leg that you're moving onto is the outside leg of the Lord Shiva pose, okay? And then you swing back over. And don't worry too much if you get the arms wrong, if you do the opposite arms. The wrong one in the air, don't worry too much about that. At the moment, it's simply the movement. Star, goddess pose, Lord Shiva, 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 last one. Lovely, shake out a bit. So that's a movement, a kind of yoga flow. And that's quite nice when you get the rhythm going and you get to know the pose as well. So if you end up, as I was explaining, if you end up with, say, instead of the right knee that's up is the right hand that's up, you end up with the left hand up. It's no big deal. You know, just keep flowing through and eventually just try to remember to look, the knee that's up is the hand that's up. And that helps enormously. Okay, and then from there, let's widen out. And we're going to do some forward bends. So hands on the hips, feet going at 10 to 2, toes going at 10 to 2. Lengthen up from the crown of the head. Okay, really lengthening. Breathe out, come to halfway. Okay, and then face to the floor. Drop the hands. And if you can, coming back with the hands, lowering the head. So if it's your first forward bend of the day, just be careful, be gentle. And you're slowly maneuvering the tailbone up to the heavens a bit more as you allow the weight of the head to come down. Now, if you bend the knees, that's probably because it was hurting slightly and you're being kind to yourself, giving a little soft knee instead of a strong locked knee. Okay, keep breathing into that. The forward bends are really useful to hang around in while you're there. Very good for lifting the mood, making you feel happier. Also good for the digestion, good for the back, obviously the spinal column. And while we're there, bring the left hand forward, breathe in, the right arm goes up, look up. Breathe out, right hand in the middle. Breathe in, left hand up, look up. And we'll just keep doing that. So do that with your own breath. Each time you breathe in, one arm goes up, you look up. Breathe out, that hand comes down. And breathe in. The next time the opposite arm goes up, look up. Breathe out, come down. Just keep going for a while. So you've got a nice bit of a twist going around the waist area. Okay. Lovely. And next one, when you come down, both hands to the middle, walk the hands back a bit if you can. Obviously just adjust the pose if it's difficult for you. And then I'd like you to bring your right hand to your right ankle and then let your left hand follow. Okay, comfortably find a way for that left hand to rest on your shin or your ankle or your foot. Or if you would like, obviously, you can always use a block if that helps. And then breathe in, take the right arm up. So we're actually going around a little bit further there. On this side, there's more compression against that ascending colon, the right-hand side of the belly. Breathe out, come down, and then swing over. Take the block with you if you like. Right hand on the block, left hand comes up. Breathe out, swing over. Breathe in, right hand comes up. Breathe out, swing over. Breathe in, left hand come up. So keep doing that with the breath for a while till you get the hang of that movement. Okay. Breathing in, the arms go up. Breathing out, you're coming down and across. Until eventually you'll feel you've had enough. So you can come to the center and drop the head again. And if you like, this time holding on to the elbows. So you can really feel their shoulder blades, widen them out, dropping the head towards the floor. Nice and comfortable. If there's too much strain anywhere, bend the knees. Don't have them locked if it's actually causing any difficulty. And then when you've been down there a little while again, put the hands on the floor or fingertips on the floor or on a block. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to see if you can face the front and bend that right knee over the right foot. So it's a deep lunge. Okay, and breathe in, come up, and the other side. If you want to, you can walk your hands over to that side, if that makes it easier. And your heel might come up. So if I'm bending now the left knee, breathe out, down. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, down. Breathe in, walk over. Breathe out, down. Okay, so you're moving from side to side until eventually just stay on that right side and put your right hand on the outside of that bent knee. Okay, check that the knee is going out to 2 o'clock over the foot, which is also, toes are pointing to 2 o'clock. Okay, so we just stay and see how that little bounce, checking if that's all right. Lovely. And then move the hands to the middle. And over we swing to the other side and a little bounce. Okay. And then extra stretch. Super. And then coming back to the middle, bend the knees and walk them a little bit closer because we're going down into the deep squat where you open out with the knees nice and wide. Okay, pushing with the elbows. And if you need to, you might need to put your heels on a block, each heel on a block. Some people find it easy to get the heels to the ground, some people find it very difficult. Then see if you can swing from side to side. Okay. So this is good for the process of elimination. It's good for reducing and alleviating wind relieving pose. Okay, good. Hands down onto the floor. Push with the hands so that you come up onto the knees with the hands and then bring the feet a little bit closer together as you stand up. And then we're going to do the tree pose. So Vriksasana, I'd like you to stand nice and strong in the mountain first of all, crown of the head lifting upwards, chin slightly down. Bring the shoulder blades slightly together and downwards towards your tailbone. And then I'd like you to place all the weight through the left leg. Bring the right leg up slightly and position that right leg somewhere on the left leg. So you could hinge the heel to the kneecap, to the side of the shin, to the foot, or even to the floor. But we're trying to keep weight off that right leg. And depending on how slippy your leggings are, see if you can position it somewhere and it'll stay there. And then you can use your arms for balance, like so. We'll be the spreading oak tree for a moment. And it kind of helps if you're looking at a fixed spot in front of you. So if your screen's about 8 foot in front of you, that's a good place to look. And then the hands can come up into the tall poplar tree. And at any stage, if you feel wobbly, use your arms for balance, or even step out, pause, swing a bit, and go back into the pose. Because sometimes in some of my classes, we call that one skittles, because we're all coming out and not managing to stay up. So that's okay. Some days are more wobbly than others. Okay, and then we're going to all come out, rock a little from side to side, come back into the mountain. And you'll feel that the left leg that had the weight going through it, that really feels worked. So we need to balance that out, obviously, by doing the opposite side, but just steady out for a moment in mountain. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then weight through the right leg, left leg comes up. Position it somewhere that feels comfortable. The knee, if possible, is coming at right angles to the body, so it's not facing the front. It's up the side at right angles to the body. And then we go into spreading oak tree. Tuck the tailbone under if you can, and drop the shoulders. And then coming up into a nice, strong tree, Vrksasana. Still tucking the tailbone under. Long from the crown of the head upwards, breathing into the pose, coming out if you need to, and coming back in to the pose. And you might find one side is easier than the other. That's often the case. Breathing out, coming down to spreading tree. Lengthen out, so you're trying to touch walls on either side of you. And then releasing the leg down, and then just shake them out a moment. Okay, so you're really giving a nice shake, and then standing in the mountain pose, pausing, closing the eyes for a moment. Nothing to do. And you probably feel that the calves on both legs really worked for that tree pose. It's true, they did. And then the last pose we're going to do to finish is to do the 1 foot lift. So it's as easy as that, but for some people it's really difficult. So you might want to lean against a wall and then raise your right leg. So you're leaning against a wall with the left hand, raise the right leg, reach towards the toe, or if that's too difficult, somewhere on that leg or even behind the knee to help you, and then stretch the leg up, okay? So depending on what's easiest for you, the 1 foot lift balance. And if I show you from the side here, you can see that this foot is coming out, not necessarily out to the sides, but a little bit forward. Okay, and eventually you've had enough, probably already, and you bring that foot in and down, stand in the mountain, pause, close the eyes, tuck the tailbone under, shoulders back, breathe, and then of course we're going to do the opposite side. So bring the left foot up, hand onto hips to start with. Out you go. Take the right arm out to help balance. Breathe into the pose. Try not to collapse in the torso. Crown of the head is lifting upwards. If you can, have a straight leg on the left leg. That's lovely. If you find it difficult, simply doing the balance will be helpful. and just the leg lift, don't worry about it too much. We're doing the best we can. Right, and breathe out, come down, separate the feet a moment, swing from side to side. Nice lift and swing, lift and swing, lift and swing. And then I would advise, it's always good to do Shavasana, the corpse pose, lying down on the floor after a yoga pose. But this one you could get away with doing child pose, forehead to floor, and just stretch the arms away from you to rest. And stay there for a moment, letting the benefits of the yoga pose just be absorbed into the body. Well done, that was a lovely 20 minutes. You can stay in that pose, rest and relax if you have time. And I'll see you in the next one.